Wow, this is so nice. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just got back to New Orleans like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, wow. No, let me ask you something. So you were living in Austin and now you're living in New Orleans, or
Oh,
vice
no.
versa?
I was living in New York City, and then I
Okay.
came back to move to Texas, my hometown, which is
Uh-huh.
Henderson, Texas, and then
Okay.
I moved to New Orleans. Yeah,
Okay.
we were deciding, me and my husband, between Austin and New Orleans, and he got a job in New Orleans first, so
Okay.
we moved to New Orleans instead of
Okay.
Austin.
Okay. No, because
Yeah, I know
yeah,
that was confusing.
because I heard that you were saying Austin, Texas, and I was like, oh,
I
this is such a
know.
cool
I really
place.
wanted Austin.
No, but
But he got
it's
a job in New Orleans and it's lovely here. So
it's
I'm
great.
excited.
No, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, New Orleans is also probably one of the best places for the things that you love, which is also the jazz and the richness of the
Yes.
culture, and I don't know, the
Yes.
gastronomy in terms of food and
Yes.
photography. It must be very Pinterest. I don't know New Orleans, but I'm sure
Yes.
it's lovely.
No, that's how yeah, it really embraces the artist. Like any artist that you are, that like even if the little artist tucked in your soul, it's just like anything you want to do it here in New Orleans and express
It's
yourself in
awesome.
any way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same with Austin. I mean, Austin obviously is
it's
also,
true.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
So you couldn't go wrong. You couldn't go wrong.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
And I still get to be nearby my family, which I really wanted. I wanted to be like a day's drive away,
Oh,
so
that's
I could get
great.
to them.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. So it's a pleasure, really. First of all, thank you to that you accept this invitation.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
I'm sorry it was so delayed with
no,
everything.
don't worry. It's just perfect. I mean, I'm very grateful, first of all,
Oh,
that you
oh,
really accept to be here with us. And,
oh,
it's a pleasure to have like a window of an opportunity for other people and other markets and
yeah.
other countries to know
Yes.
you. And even though in Brazil we speak Portuguese, there's a lot of people that speak English, and I'm sure they're gonna love watching this. And there's gonna be
Oh,
a replay. So
oh, beautiful.
I believe in languages, and I believe in culture, and I believe
Yeah.
in sharing talent and interconnecting one with other.
Oh,
So
that's beautiful.
and you are very talented, and I
Oh, thank
couldn't
you.
skip not inviting you, because I said, my gosh, you're so round as an
Oh,
artist, and
oh,
we're gonna
thank
talk about
you.
that.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamisha. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna start letting have people come in if they got the
uh,
link and if they saw the post. But this is gonna be
okay.
recorded, okay? So
Okay.
we're gonna start, and we're
Okay,
gonna
wait, let me turn off my air
yeah,
conditioning.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I don't want it to be loud in the background. Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. So we're gonna welcome you officially to Brazil,
Thank you.
virtually.
I hope to visit in real life one day. I would love to
Oh,
visit Brazil.
I would love that you would really have the opportunity to come. And
Yes.
this is a beautiful country. It's a huge uh, diversity that it offers,
Yes.
this country, and talking
Yes.
about culture and talking about talent.
Mm.
You have from the north to the south, and
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
unbelievable. So it's really nice. So choosing a place where to come, you cannot go wrong neither. You can just going to
It's
a place in the
true.
north or a place in the south or in the middle of Brazil.
Oh,
It's going to be amazing experience.
oh,
So let me. I have a bunch of questions that
okay.
because I said let's do it organically, let's do it spontaneously. If I
Yeah,
give you the questions in advance, you are already predetermined
that's
of how
true.
you're going to answer
That's
those questions.
true. Oh, I feel like that I'm robotic, like do, like when
No,
answering questions.
so far, since we started this idea, which it
Mhm.
was during the pandemic, I really thought that the best thing, and maybe it's because also our personality is like,
Mhm.
let's do something a little bit more different, more
Yeah.
animated,
Yes.
and it's like a chat. And
Okay.
and then I forgot to tell you, if you want to have a tea or something, you should have bring it with you. And then
Oh,
I brought water. I brought water with
I didn't
me.
even
So
think. Wait, can I go run and grab it real quick?
yeah,
Is
go
that
ahead.
weird?
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I am back.
Great.
I grabbed a little cold brew.
Yeah, perfect. The thing is that I forget to drink water sometimes, and I'm getting into the habit of,
Yes.
let's just sip a little bit of water or tea or whatever. So that's good. Okay, and coffee, it's too late for me. It's almost 7 o'clock here. Well,
I don't
it's
drink
six
a lot
o'clock
of
right now, but
coffee.
yeah, if
Oh
I drink
yeah.
coffee, I won't sleep. So I said either water or tea. So okay, so
Yes.
let's do this. So the first thing I would love to know is the first question that pops in my mind that I have here is, when did you know that you wanted to become an artist, that you wanted to
Like,
draw?
hmm like do it professionally
I do it
or
professionally. Yeah,
um it was in college. Like
it was in college.
I was really excited to explore art more in college because I always did it at home. My mom is an art teacher. It was introduced to my brother and I a lot, so it was just always in the background, of my life. But I never really pursued it as much as I pursued music and
Mhm.
dance. Like that's what I did a lot in high school.
Yeah.
So yeah, in college, I had an opportunity to do double or triple majors. So I
Wow.
studied psychology, but I also just wanted to study visual arts. And I'm like, oh, I'll become
Wow.
an art therapist. And work with children. That's what I wanted to do. But the more I was in art, I'm like, oh, I love this so much. I love creating. It's another way I can express myself that I didn't know I enjoyed so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I decided I think it was my sophomore year. I started creating classes and collaborating with other professors that allowed you I presented a class like I want to have a class where we can do this and this. Can we make this up? And can I invite friends to do this along with me? So I started
Wow.
creating classes and opportunities for me and friends to do more kind of graphic design and illustration, but that's what kind of opened my eyes to possibly doing it. And I had a friend that was super artsy. She's a photographer, and we decided to move to New York together. So at that point, we're like, yes, we're going to be artists in New York City.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Wow. So
yeah.
you actually, since that age, or maybe even earlier, and maybe you're not aware of it, you were doing visualizations, because
Yeah.
you actually were, visualizing, having the picture of how it was going to develop that
Yes.
objective, and how it's gonna, how you were going to actually materialize that dream.
Yes.
So that's awesome, and you're very positive. You're a very happy, cheerful
Oh,
person. So thinking like that is phenomenal. It's a gift as
oh.
well. So that's great. That's awesome. So then, saying that, your mom obviously was part of your inspiration,
Yes.
mentor,
Yes.
cheerleader.
Yes, it still is.
Yeah,
Still is.
yeah.
Yeah, I just came from her house 30 minutes ago from visiting, and the first book that I'm having published, I dedicated to her because
Oh, that's
she's my
nice.
very first art teacher, and even now, with all the projects that I get, I always text my mom or email them like, "What do you think? Do you think it's done? Do you see
Awesome.
anything weird?"
Wow. So not only she's your best cheerleader, but she's also your personal critique.
She is.
It would be like a person that really gives you an honest, profound
Yes.
look and perspective of your work and opinion, and
Yes.
and it's not BS. It's something that that is true, and that
Yes.
you can embrace it. So
I
that's
know
lucky.
it.
That's really
Yeah.
lucky.
And she delivers it in a way because she knows my
Yeah,
personality,
yeah,
and I mean she's seen my work since I was a toddler, so she's seen my growth, and she knows what I need to work on
that
and
is
knows how to deliver
amazing.
it. So yeah, I really love my mom being part of my artistry.
Yeah, like definitely a mentor too. Definitely you have a mentor as well.
Oh,
So
yes.
that's really cool. So besides your mom, which other influences you experienced that actually you said, yes, this is what I want to do,
Mhm.
in photography or in music or in dance or in paintings,
Mhm.
artists? Which other influences you think that called you to become an artist?
Um, I'm not sure. I don't remember ever not doing art. I'm trying to think. Am I like on my mom's side of the family? Everyone's very musical. They
Uh-huh.
all like either you have to know how to sing, and if you don't, you should just like pretend like you're singing when everyone's around you, but just mouth the words so no
So
one
that's a
knows.
big influential too. That's a big
It
influential because your
is.
family is you're surrounded with artists.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially like in the church and everything. But family gatherings, there would be like 50 people in one room, and everyone would take. You're like, oh, I'm a soprano. Oh, I can do alto now. And then
Wow,
the guys would be like, I'm going to do bass, and they would get in their places in the living room, and then they would all sing, and it'd be so beautiful. They
that
do
is
that for
amazing.
any holiday, so that influenced me and my brother growing up. We love music and
So so
singing
so
and
your
yeah.
brother and you know how to play an instrument? Did you guys pass the test?
Um, yeah.
You
Yes,
have to learn
I've
something.
gotten approval from my grandpa, so I feel like that's the key. He sung in a quartet, like he's a preacher, but also sung in a quartet with a group, like matching little purple suits and striped ties and things like that. But yeah, I played the clarinet and marching band. Like I
Well,
did that in
that's
middle
great.
school and high
That's so
school.
you
I
passed the
really
test.
enjoyed. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then besides that huge influence, which is so close to you because it's your family, what
Mhm.
is the artists that you admire, that comes up right now in your mind at this moment? Because during different times you're going to have different
Yeah.
persons that you're going to admire.
Yeah.
um, you're also going to your work grows as well, and then you have other
Yeah.
influences. So but as right
That's
now,
true.
what
Yeah.
is the authors, like three artists that you really admire, or one artist that you really admire?
Well, I love Rebecca Green's illustrations. I've admired her for many years, and I remember when I first discovered her on Instagram, and she has all of her artwork from years past, and you can see the evolution of her work. And I think that's when I first just really connected with her because I felt like, oh, I can change my work too. I can evolve. This is
Mhm.
a process. I don't have to have it all now. That felt encouraging to me. And she writes these blog posts where she's very open about the process of bookmaking and
Oh, that's
creating
awesome.
and the ups and the downs of everything. So like I've subscribed to her Patreon. Read her blogs every month, and I just feel like she's very open and positive but
Yes.
real about her experiences as an illustrator. And yeah, it just opens up that world because sometimes we don't know a lot about yeah, like publishing and creating. There's not a lot of like master degrees in it and
Yeah.
things like that, so it's nice when people are will share that information and what
Yeah.
they've gone through.
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
we we learn it, right? We learn it as it comes, as it develops. You learn it, and then you
Yes.
grasp the concept, and then you get better. And there's a
Yes.
lot of trial and error in between. So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
Which that's the exciting part. Actually, it's exciting because you get a lot of challenges, and that's
Yes.
part of
Yes.
it, right?
It
So
is. It is. I mean, it has a lot of anxiety about it too. It's exciting and anxious building,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like, yeah. But I think you have to have that mixture anyway
Definitely,
to experience
definitely.
it. Yeah.
That's great. And
Yeah.
and what did you see in her? Did it grasp you the technique or the color or the forms? What is the first thing
Um,
that you actually saw that you said, "Oh, this is nice"?
her characters. They're
Her
just so
characters.
cute and they seem so gentle. Like I would. So like, you know, some drawings or characters like, oh, I would be friends with that character.
So
That's how I
that's
felt.
how you feel. Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's nice. That's nice. So now let me ask you something. Let's talk about something about a myth. Okay.
Mhm.
There's still probably somewhere that a child wants to become an artist,
Mhm.
and probably in a lot of households, you will still hear, oops, maybe not, because how would you pay the bills? You know, how
Yes.
you're gonna
Yes.
make it, right, in the real
Yes.
world. So to break the myth, so
Mhm.
what would you say to the adult that is listening us right now, and that can
Um,
support or embrace the dream of that child or of that
mhm.
teenager or of that student at the university level?
Yeah.
And it's scary because you want the best for your child, but at the same time there has to be a proof of concept saying, hey, you know
Yes.
what, it's tough, but yeah, I can pay my bills and I can,
Yes. Yes.
the job is coming to me.
Yes.
And I have my first book published.
Yes, exactly. And those are beautiful moments.
And it's a
Yeah,
beautiful
there are a
moment.
lot of
Yeah. And it
hard
doesn't come
moments. Yeah.
overnight. It doesn't come overnight because
Yeah, no.
the magic is focus and work and
Yes.
passion and believe in yourself. But
Yes.
now you, as Tamisha Anthony, what would you tell? Either speaking with the child or the
Mhm.
teenager or the parent, because you
Oh,
actually, your mom support you. Your mom,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
is your
I mean, she
biggest.
was very nervous about me doing art, and sometimes she's like, "Oh, Tamisha," but um, I think for the child or the teenager, I would say, if you want to do it, just do it. Put all your energy into it,
Mhm, mhm.
because I felt like I hesitated off and on throughout the process, which
Yep.
delayed things. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
like, one foot in doesn't work. You have to go all in, and but have a safety net. And that's not just like relying on your parents to bail you out. Like, have a full-time job. I had a full-time job for a really long time, and something that I didn't want to do, but it's something I was good at, that was fulfilling, that didn't exhaust me too much. So then I went home and I was super dedicated to my art, and I would spend like 5 or 6 hours working.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
sometimes means not going out with friends all the time and not spending your money on this and that. You have to be very organized, and this really truly has to be your dream. And that means you're going to let go of other things to pursue it passionately, like you were saying. And for the adult, I would say, I don't know, be realistic. I feel like a lot of parents lean on the side of being cynical, just like it can't happen, it won't happen for you. Look how many artists are in the world that support themselves. But be realistic with your child. Just say like, oh, if you want to be an artist, you probably need to do this and this and this. You need to try this. Like, help support them. Help like make it more well-rounded so they can
Yeah.
see all the avenues they can go down through.
Yeah.
They can see different artistic jobs that are actually full-time jobs.
Yes.
Every artist job is not freelance and working from month to month. There's so many different directions like any person can go, and you need to research with your child instead of saying no. Like, look up things on the internet, look at different positions, so like, oh, I saw that you're interested in drawing and I see that this is a job for this. Like, maybe you could go to this school and you can meet other friends. Like, just the encouragement, but also be real with them with how much work you have to do. You really have to be dedicated and passionate about being an artist to have the possibility of making it, I would say.
That is a great suggestion, and that's a very warm way to embrace both sides, and
Oh,
a very respectful way
oh,
to
thank
embrace both sides,
you.
because both have their own feelings and both are
Yeah.
they are looking at different glasses, right? So
Yeah.
I think that for both we can summary that they have to have a plan of action,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
parents can help them to have a plan of action, and
Yes.
in that way be supportive. And
Yes.
the person who wants that has to
Mhm.
have also a plan of action, right?
Yes.
So both of
Yes.
them, then they can integrate their resources,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
it can happen, right? So
You
that's,
can just
yeah. Or,
learn
or
as
maybe,
much.
like, one day going to the store of the, oh my gosh, like we love, right, the supplies.
Yes.
A
Yes.
store of
Oh my
supplies is
God.
like, we cannot leave
Yes, I love it.
without
Just like
buying
staring at
something,
everything.
right?
Like, oh, this is new. Oh, this color is so
Yeah.
beautiful.
So
Yes.
imagine a mom and a teenager, or a student at the university level, both
Mhm.
embracing that special moment. And
Yes. Yes.
these are things that may be difficult at first,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
maybe you step into the world of
Yes.
of what
Yeah,
really can be a reality. And
that's true.
maybe that's a good way to start, right? Or like you
That would
said,
be
maybe
a
there's a
lovely
class for
way.
free, and a friend
Yeah,
of a friend says, and then the parent can share that. It doesn't cost any money, and that's
that's
also a
true.
way to see if that person really is serious and really is intending to
That's
be
true.
in
Yeah,
that career, and see how much time she or he puts, even though if it's free. Because
exactly.
being free tells you, it just right there tells you if that
Yeah,
person is going to be passionate or not, right?
yeah, that's
So,
very
and
true.
not
Are they
because
going
it's
to show
free,
up? Are they going to go to
exactly. Are they
every
going to
class?
do
Are they
the
going to do
job?
work after? Yes.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
Even out of
that's
something like if it's something basic, even like you can still gather something even as a more advanced artist from any class that you attend if you're willing to open your eyes and like
that's true.
really see. Yeah, there's always something for us to learn in every experience. And
Definitely. So that's
yeah.
that's great. So the question that I have to that I'm curious to know is, what was it, the moment that you can share with us to define that, yes, I'm getting it. This is, my moment. This is the time on that I'm gonna just go up, and and really focus on what I want.
Oh, the pandemic.
The pandemic. Really,
It
really.
did. I mean, I there's plenty of terrible things that happened during the pandemic for me as well and everybody, but
Yeah.
I was in New York City. I lived in Jersey City right outside at that time, and like New York really shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And
The whole world shut down. The
yeah, the
whole
whole
world.
world shut down. Yeah, that yeah, I was so used to riding subways and walking around and seeing friends that yeah, when I started working from home, I had a lot of extra time and I didn't know what to do with all the thoughts and the fears that I had twirling my mind, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just drew and drew and drew.
So that opened the possibilities for you to
Yeah,
actually being exposed to courses, because suddenly we had a lot of e-courses, from free
yeah,
to someones that you actually had to pay, a
it's
lot
true.
of interviews with artists, a lot of
Mhm.
sharing, because
Yeah, a lot of
suddenly,
sharing.
suddenly there was an abundance of people sharing, right,
Yeah. And it was
techniques
something that really just because I actually didn't take a lot of courses. It was more so me listening to myself more
and
so.
drawing.
I
Uh-huh.
was doing I worked as a professional dancer for a while. Like there's lots of arts that I love and I go down tangents sometimes, and not that I didn't enjoy and love that experience, but sometimes we run away from other things that we really like or really want to do because it's scary.
Yeah.
So I think a part of it, like the dance stuff was just happening for me, and I just went down that direction instead of really trying to figure out how to get in the children's book world. So whenever everything paused for me, I had time to think. I was like, I've been wanting to do this for years. I need to
It
change
stops
my
it.
portfolio.
Yeah.
I need to work on this. I need to actually see what art directors are looking for. I've been told, like, I was making cards and everything, but like what I want to do, make books. I need to figure out how to change my portfolio to make books. And I did that really like January on. Like I really started focusing on it once we had to stay home. And then
Mm-hmm.
at the end of 2020, that's when I got my agent and my first book
That's
deal.
amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and it really connected with me. I'm like, all this work that I've put in has resulted in this. Like, just imagine what I could have done in all those other years if I would have just really focused on this one thing. And I don't know, it taught me something. It opened my eyes.
Yeah, but all those years contributed to where you are right now, you know.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
Something, the music, the dance,
yeah.
the books that probably you read, everything
Hmm.
from
Oh,
filming,
yeah.
so
Everything
everything
influenced me.
contributes. It,
Yeah.
you don't see it, but then later when you do
Oh,
an
yeah. You can look back.
exactly, when you do actual
Yeah,
introspection, you will see how it interconnects, right?
yeah.
So
But I
that's really
also think
wonderful.
it's really important to, like, I was trying to do two, three, four things at a time. Sometimes it is good to focus on one thing. And then once you have that thing running, add on another artistic thing that you want to do. But when you're trying to they're all on this one level and you're trying to
Yeah,
bring them all up at the same time, that's when it becomes very heavy and overwhelming. And sometimes, like, pick one to focus on and then, like, let everything else build up together. And what I'm saying is, like, during that time, I was trying to do, like, okay, I'm going to be a professional dancer, but I'm also going to be a professional children's book author, illustrator at the same time. And I'm going to, like, yeah, I'm going to make a little singing group. And yeah, it was just too much
too
going on.
much,
And then I'm
too
like,
much.
I'm not sleeping and I'm not taking care of myself. And you get burnout. And it's important to, like, start out with a goal, plan it out clearly. Like I did, like, breakdown of like different years. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is what I want to do in this year and make goals. And I felt more organized in the way
well,
I approached it.
you
And I
actually
think that was super
segmented. You
important.
actually started segmenting,
Yes.
by departments. Uh,
Yeah.
you have all these passions, but you only
Hmm.
are one person, right? So, and
Yes.
you only
Yes.
have 8 hours or whatever hours you have a day. So
Yes.
then you have to then, like, within the artist area of an illustration or
Hmm.
illustrator, you have a lot of things. You have the editorial, you have the magazine, you have the home
Yeah.
decor, you have
Yes.
the
Yes.
toy business, you have
Yes.
the e-courses that you can also teach,
Yes.
right? But then you also have the beautiful world of children's books. And
Yeah.
that's where you start maybe doing you have to do like a kind of like analysis of really self-analysis of what really,
Yes.
I want. I'm here and I want to get there. And you need
Yes.
to define what is there, right? What is that
Exactly.
area? And then how you're going to get
How
there,
to get
right?
there.
Yeah,
Yes. And
yeah,
that's why I liked Rebecca Green so much because I saw her start out with one style and she went to being a children's book author.
oh, yeah,
Illustrator. And
yeah,
I saw how her style changed and how she evolved. And that, like, helped me to, like, oh, I'm here. I need to do this, this, and this, and this to get there. I
yeah.
need to have yeah, I joined a lot of groups so that I could have portfolio reviews. So, because you look at your own work so much, you can't see,
And
yeah,
your
like what
work
you're
is gonna
missing.
evolve. Especially
Yeah.
when you are so talented,
Mhm.
experiences are going
Mhm.
to also contribute, and you're going to
Yeah.
get different calls at one point for doing
Yeah.
different things, and that's where you're going to end up choosing which path you
Yes.
want to
That's
to
true.
navigate.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So one of the things that I know, because I'm super 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 grateful to Lydia
Mhm.
Rogers, which is your
Yes.
what is it called, your agent, right? It's called your agent.
Oh, well, she's not my agent, but she's
She's
my
not your agent.
mentor.
Oh, she's not your
No,
agent. Oh, I thought
no,
she was
no.
your agent. Okay, she's your
Oh,
mentor.
no.
She's your
She's my
mentor.
mentor. I'm
Well,
with Bright Agency with
okay,
Anne Armstrong.
okay.
Yeah, but Lila's my mentor.
Oh, that's
She's
a
my
that's
friend.
a wonderful, beautiful, phenomenal,
Yes,
fabulous mentor.
yes.
But as a mentor, she's so in you. Um,
Yes.
Other gifts, other
Hmm.
talents besides
Yes.
drawing, and
Yes.
the way that I met you is through Lydia, because she has
Yes.
her make art that sells, and she
Hmm.
invited you to do a program, an e-course,
Yes.
program, and
She
actually
said,
it
Tamisha,
was
you can do
free.
this.
It was amazing, which is redrawing Black history,
Yes,
and
yes.
both of you, like, so generous, both of
Oh,
you
thank you.
decided to actually share this to the world, and
Yeah.
do it for free, and
Yes.
offer it with no cost, and it doesn't, to me personally,
Um,
I don't like to define this is the moment, because
mm-hmm.
I think that for those things,
Mm-hmm.
there's no such this is the moment. This
Yeah.
could have happened yesterday, uh,
Yeah.
10 years ago, today, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But what is important is that it's happening. It is
Yes.
happening. So
Yes.
could it have happened earlier? Oh, yes, definitely.
Yes.
Yes, we both know
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Definitely, yes, right? Um,
Yes.
could happen 10 years from now? No, absolutely no, absolutely no.
Yes. It's just like,
But
yeah.
the time is right. The time is right. But it's
Yeah.
something that is not defined by time. I think I wanted to define it by a necessity. I would I
That's
would
beautiful.
define it more like a necessity,
Yes.
because what you put together, the
Oh.
knowledge that you
Oh.
pour, oh my God, it was like,
Oh,
what?
thank
What?
you.
Wow. And the creativity, the way that not
Oh.
only you research, you studied, you had all the elements, but the way that you presented the course, and
Oh.
you even came up with such a unbelievable twist, spilling the tea with tea. I'm like, oh my gosh, she even has time to create something. Okay, she dances in the course. She dances with her husband.
Yes.
She dance,
Oh, I'm
and
so happy about, yeah.
you dress, on the era, because you love that. That's
Yes.
also your passion. And then,
Yes.
you put these wonderful um, slides. Yeah,
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 photos and
flashbacks, right? Flashbacks,
flashbacks. That's it.
but
Yes.
not only flashbacks, but you open uh, the window to see beyond that. So you
Oh,
educate us. It's amazing. You say, okay,
oh,
this is what happened in this era, but
yeah.
did
Oh.
you I'm like, no, I didn't know. And I'm like impressed, and
Thank you.
because you educate me and you educate a lot of us, sharing what it has not been out loud
Yeah.
said, it said, or out loud share in the media, right?
Yes. Yes. It's
um
like behind the curtain a little
yeah, and,
bit.
and and suddenly you open this window, you open this curtain, and you
Yes.
not only gave us facts from what it was, but also things that we didn't even know, and you invite us to a world uh,
Oh,
unknown, because it's
this
known
week.
to you, but it was not unknown to, at least, I'm speaking for me. Probably some of your students were
Oh.
more highly educated
Oh,
than
to be
you.
honest, there are certain things that, like in research, that I discovered that I didn't know about my own culture, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah,
So
I think
I like
something
it.
like you said, like you were surprised to see some dresses or something in one of the
Yes,
photographs, that
I was
images
so,
that you show you
yeah, the
yeah.
like the new Dior look and things like that.
Hmm,
Because
hmm.
in yeah, in media you don't often see. I mean, you're starting to see it now, especially during this time period where we're really embracing
Yes.
all ethnicities and putting them on media, and but like I didn't see it growing up, and I didn't even know if like women of color could afford these things, let alone like have a photo taken of them. And there weren't a lot of like women of color that were models and things like that. So
Yes, so
finding that photo,
talented. So
yes,
people so talented from doing a sculpture to to
yes,
doing amazing things, contributions to the
yes,
world, and just
brilliant
like
women.
yeah, and this is something that the system in general doesn't teach, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
the beauty about these e-courses and the
mhm,
way that education
yeah,
is moving more in a free zone where
mm,
you can determine your content and
yes,
be respectful, but also be mentoring
yes,
and
yes,
and putting your own seed
mhm,
into the vision of a new world, right?
yes,
As well,
yes.
because
Mhm.
definitely this is a necessity. I hope that
It is. It's
just
so
like you did
important.
this, some other cultures embrace that and teach it,
Yes,
because
I
can you
think it's
imagine if we can learn tomorrow something about the Japanese culture that we don't even have
oh,
no clue?
that would be
That
amazing.
would be amazing.
I would love to, yeah, experience
You're
that. I
gonna,
try to dig
yes.
through things to
Not
find
not only
courses
learning
and
how to
things
do
like that.
chopsticks or not only learning how to do the tradition of the tea, but
Oh,
learning,
yes, yes.
learning like you really went above and beyond.
Oh, well,
And
thank you. I'm so
this
glad the class meant so much to you because like I find like when I was creating the class and working with Lila on it, like there was moments that I would cry or I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe this, or like, oh, can I share this? How do I
yes,
share
yes,
this?
how do I
So
share?
that
Yes,
yes,
yes, yes,
so it
because
can be
sometimes you may have felt that you were going in deep water. And
yes,
yes, yes,
yes,
and still up today, we have to be politically correct, right?
yes.
So
It's a
you
lot of
have
pressure
a,
to
a diverse group of people taking a
exactly.
given class, not only your class,
Yes,
but a given class, and you still have to, you know, um, put a content that is friendly, but at the same
yes,
time that moves you, right? And that
yeah. Because I want
creates an
I want
emotion.
everyone to be able to receive it. And if it's
Yes,
not dictated in a certain way, people are going to turn away from it. So that was really important. That's the thing I talked to Lila about. Lila was so encouraging. She's just like, no, say it, Tamisha, the way, like, your personality, you'll be able to share it in a way
yes,
that is okay. And
that is
I don't think I would have
authentic. That
been
is authentic.
quite as,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
brave enough if she would have just like, you can do it. You do
Yeah.
it. Go out there, put
And
yourself
she
out
knows,
there.
and she knows, she
Yeah,
knows, she knows, she knows. She has a
she does.
long way. So
Yes.
she also knows, the audience, not only the audience, but she knows beyond that,
Yeah,
where can you step into and where you cannot step into. So yeah,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
that's great. So then tell me about how did you came up with the spilling the tea with tea? Because I'm curious. I'm curious to know
I
that.
don't even know how I came up. I mean, my husband and I are very like we jest and play and everything like that. So I think it's something I was telling him. I was like, what if we had like a spilling the tea section where I just tell them like really happened. I'm like, oh, and my name is T, like
Yes.
Tamisha. It starts with
And
a
then
T, and
people,
I love tea time. Like I collect tea sets and everything. I meant to have like a tea set during that section, but yeah, I'm like, is this dorky? Is this too dorky to say spilling the tea with
no,
tea? And he's like,
no.
no, yeah, you should do it. And that's when because, I do love dance, I love music, I love performance. I'm like, oh, I want to dabble in each like art form and come up with different women that have like, was a professional singer, like women of color, that professional singer, or a musician, or an
Yes,
artist, not just
yes.
focus on visual arts,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like tell their magnificence, like what they achieved, but how did they get there?
yeah.
How it was so difficult, what was taken away from them. So
It was a very well-rounded, course, because like you said, you were able to pinpoint errors, important
oh,
errors,
thank
and
you.
also different within the era. You were
Mhm.
able to segment the the type of arts that are, and not only focus in one. And there's so much talent. That was what it was surprising to me, the talent and the exercises that you were giving us. You know, like listening to jazz and then see and the images of photography to you know, to documentary, as much as you could, so we would have the elements and the tools to come up with, you know, the end of homework, which it was a design or a portrait of someone, right? So yeah, very, and it was women. It was all women, and
all women of color.
And it was amazing. So now, for the people that don't know and will actually listen or watch this later, the beauty about this is that you were representing the voice of more than two women in that section, which it was almost like a podcast, right? Kind of idea, right? So here we have Tamisha, and Tamisha is like an actress. And she is pretending she is one person and another person and another person, and they're having a dialogue, and you get into the person that is the main role, and you are talking through her voice. Is that correct? That we can say that?
No, that's correct. Yes. I'm so glad that was clear. It's another thing, like, I don't know if this works, but it's something that I want to do, because their voices need to be heard.
It was like a monologue. It was like basically like a monologue, and you're taking over that personality, that character, that you know, that important person, and suddenly you're representing that person, but not in your voice, but in the voice of like
so their voices can be heard. They're not with
imagine what that person is saying, and then you actually are saying it for her. And I was like,
exactly.
I was
this is what I would imagine if I could go back in time and have tea with these women. This is what they would share with me.
Like whispering to you. And then you were just the media to communicate what they were whispering. So, wow, this is like amazing. Like because that's part of what you became. You became a person that knows how to create a script. Do you realize that that you create a whole rotary, a whole script within the course, and that's what I said, you went above and beyond. Because
thank you so much. I like, if I'm gonna do it, I have to represent these women well, and I
did.
So thank you. That means a lot to me. That means a lot.
So then we're gonna put the link here in the YouTube, so then whoever wants to have access to where they can take the course, then we're gonna share that. And also I am a big admirer of Ligia, and I have taken some of her classes, and definitely congratulations to both of you, because it really this course really needs to be out there, and a lot of people needs to get a hold of this course. So,
thank you.
That's a nice contribution that you guys did to the world. So
thank you so much. Thank you. So we really enjoyed doing it, and like I feel like it helped me grow as a person, and all the students. You guys were so amazing. Like the artistry that people came up with, everything that was shared on the Facebook group, and
I was
additional knowledge. I just like, oh my God, it's just magical. And like every day I would, like, it felt like Christmas going to a Facebook group to like open it up and see what people have written or drawn or created. I'm just like,
this is happening. Pinch me, because I was dreaming, right? I can totally see that. I can totally see that. And another dream that came true is now so this is your first book that is published. Do you have it? Because I know that you put a photo or something like that. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at you. Wow.
It comes out officially on May 3rd, but I got my
which is next week, which is basically next week. So
it's next week.
We can buy it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I could send you. I can show like one of the
Yeah,
spreads. This is
it's
the
very
first spread.
nice. And look at the colors, and the girl is just amazing. The cover is phenomenal. And who's the publisher?
Published by Random House, and the
Okay,
author is Jazmyn Simon. So,
very
and I
nice.
really, yes, beautiful writing, very encouraging, uplifting. It meant so much to me because I feel like that's how my mother talked to me when I was a child.
Oh,
Because I
how sweet.
mean, like, oh, just like it's about embracing who you are and everything that you have, your eyes and your nose and like your personality is perfect because you are you. And
So,
that's what the book is about. Like just being like you are perfect because you're you and everything you have.
wow.
And that's a message that my mom gave me, and that's a message that Jazmyn Simon is sending. And I think it's good for adults and children. It was very
Wow.
moving to me to read it, and that's why I want to illustrate it.
What
I'm
what
just
a,
like,
what a
oh,
synergy. What a synergy, because
yes,
the universe gave you this gift as your
yes,
first published book with
yes,
this story, right? So if
yes.
you would have chosen another story, probably you wouldn't,
No, this
have
is a
much
perfect story.
as
Yes,
fantastic as it is, this combination
yes,
of the author and you. So
yes.
that's great. So
And
so
like my
then,
agent really feels my energy and my personality, and she finds books like this that really just sinks in
yeah,
to who I am and like my values and everything, and that means a
because
lot.
as an artist, I imagine as an illustrator, you also have the right to either accept or decline
Yeah,
a given text, because at the end of the day, both of you are the artist of the book, and both of
exactly.
you, one is putting it in words, the other one is putting it in image, and both of you are going to
Yes,
embrace that book, right?
yes,
And you guys
exactly.
have to love the work,
Ooh,
right? So
yeah,
it
it
sells,
has.
nice, and it's also emotional to see both of you embracing the same idea and seeing
Yes,
the final piece,
no, yeah,
materialized in the book.
yes,
That's so
yeah.
now
That's what I love.
from this, now you have other works that you are doing,
Yes,
um,
I have
and
5 more books that I'm working on. I'm working on 3 at the moment, and
5 more
then
books. Wow.
yes,
Just in 2022 right now, in this year,
um,
or they are
they'll be
scattered.
published. Yeah, they'll be published in 2023 and 2024. I
Okay,
think I'm
okay,
correct
okay.
on
So you
that, or
have
twenty
a
twenty
good timing. You have a good time. You're
Yeah,
not
I have good timing. Yeah,
stressed. You're not stressed.
I couldn't
Okay.
do it all at
Yeah.
once, but
Yeah. It
yeah,
would be too much. It would be way too
it
much.
would be way too much
It
to
would
do
be
it all at once.
crazy. Yeah,
I
it
don't
would be
know if any
crazy.
human could do that
No,
and
no,
produce
no,
the work that you really want
no,
to.
no.
But
But
yeah,
I also heard that you also probably again, you visualize, because you definitely visualize, and you
hmm.
share in one of the interviews that you can see yourself maybe writing a story.
Oh yes. I mean, I've written many stories. I'm just, it's at that point where I'm like, oh, do I share? When do I share? It's just, and I want
Yeah.
to get practice with just creating the
Yes.
art first
Yes.
and getting
Yes.
used to like how publishing works. But oh yes, my goal is to become an author illustrator in one. And yeah, I've been really
It's
like,
gonna come. It's
yeah,
definitely gonna
oh,
come.
thank you. I have lots of
Definitely.
stories that I want to share. I've always like I remember in kindergarten, I mean I thought I could write. You're just learning, but I would come home and I would draw my little characters and I would write my little stories and I didn't want to do my homework. And my mom got me, then she took away all my like notepads and was like, you can't draw and write your stories until you do your homework first. And ever since then, I would work really hard to do my homework and achieve everything. But I would always write stories. Like since I was 5, I remember doing that. I would always write little stories about characters
That's
and
amazing. That's
friends,
pretty
and
cool.
and
That's
I
great.
feel like I was always meant to go on this path. It was something that I always just loved doing.
Yeah,
That
see
I could,
how the things interconnect. So,
yes,
somehow your experiences will interconnect, and then
I
it will
do.
bring you to the point that you have to be, right? Like
Yes.
Lee just
Every
says, everybody is at the the place at the moment that they have to be,
Yes.
and you have to
Yes.
embrace that moment, because after that moment, you cannot go back. It just gets better. It just gets
It does. Yes. You have to use all of the information and knowledge and lessons that like you learned along your pathway to get where you want to go. And
That's
like
awesome.
you're right, without being like a dancer. If I wasn't a dancer for a while, I would never have met my husband even. And he is like one of my biggest supporters too in my art life. And just like with grad school, I actually went to grad school to be an animator and realized in grad school that like, oh, actually I really like writing and creating characters. And I had an advisor say like, maybe you should look into children's books instead of trying to be an animator. And I like, yeah, you need those different pathways that like you want to do it in just a straight line, right? But like sometimes you gotta
No,
go
because life, has secret paths,
yes,
right? So
yes,
you're trying to go this way, but then something makes you go this way because
yes.
it's yeah.
Exactly, and
So
you have to follow it
you have to
sometimes.
follow it. Well,
Know it. Yeah.
if you can listen to yourself, that's the magic about it, right? And
Yes.
that's the magic.
I
So
love your spirit. You have such a beautiful spirit and
no.
connection to
Thank you,
life.
thank you. I love talking to people
Mhm.
like you,
Oh, thank
because you spark a lot of positiveness, and a
oh,
lot of
thank
people are
you.
gonna watch this, and uh, I think that at the end of the day, the artist is a dreamer, but we also want people to dream and to
Yes,
achieve things, right? So
yes, always.
we can be like, it's like a seed. You just put a little seed and then you
Yes.
hope that it grows into
I
something
know,
bigger.
yes. Exactly.
Someone has to put the seed on the vase, because otherwise nothing
Yes.
will happen. So
Yes,
there,
it's
there
so
it goes.
true. And people put like planted seeds for us too as we go
Of
along. And
course, yeah,
yeah,
it goes both ways, and
yeah,
that's why generosity and gratitude has everything to is the part of life, is the most important thing. Profitable, economic, money, it
yeah,
comes because it's part
yeah.
of it, but at the end of the
Exactly.
day, those that can be grateful. um Oh my gosh, I think that you're above and beyond. So in
Oh yeah,
another,
that's
you're growing as a person, right? You're developing yourself
yes,
better, and you're
yeah,
trying to become better, right? So
yes.
yeah, that I think that's
I
one
think
of the objectives. So then let me ask you a question. So like the writer, the author, that some of them, they actually write every day, maybe for 10 minutes, and they
mhm,
exercise their
mhm.
muscle of writing, right? Um,
Yeah.
and they have their journal. Do you have your
Mhm.
sketchbook, and do you practice daily drawings, or
I
do you have
do.
another secret?
No, I definitely do. I mean, I work on my iPad a lot. Like when I told you I was just traveling right before it now, but I was sketching while
Well,
my
during the
husband was
pandemic, you
driving.
were exercising the muscle. You were drawing and drawing and
Yeah,
drawing, and that became a habit,
exactly.
right? So I don't know if that
Yeah,
you're carrying that habit, and you are still drawing and
exactly. I
opening
try
your
to
sketchbook
draw.
or your iPad. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, every day I feel like something is missing if I don't draw every day, even just for 30 minutes. But I mean, I definitely draw more than that every day. And it's so exciting because you can look at your work from a year ago and be like, oh my God, I've
Oh
evolved
yeah,
so
you can
much.
see.
Yes, I
Yeah,
guess because you're like, and it
yeah,
encourages that dedication. You're like, oh, well, I need to keep doing what I'm
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
It's not anything magical. It's just dedication and doing
Yes,
it
yes. It's
every
a skill.
day.
It's a skill. Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah. A
is.
lot of people have this another myth that it's a gift. Yes, it's a gift, but it's a
Yeah.
gift because you're developing every single
Yes.
day that
Yeah.
skill that becomes then later a gift, right? Because it will be
Exactly.
with practice, it will be much easier, right? Like you start the
It will.
piano, you have to put the
Yes.
time. You may have the gift, but you have the gift once you compose. And you have the gift once
Yes.
you don't have to read the notes, because now you can
Yes.
imagine the sound and the melody in your head, and now you're right.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it doesn't happen overnight. So
The talent is important, but not quite as important as doing it every day and
as
being
doing
dedicated.
it, as creating a
Yeah.
habit. Yeah. And do you
Yeah.
have, when you actually work in a project, do you have a ritual or a routine, or do you put music, or
I'm trying to think of what I do. I mean, I sit in you see my tent behind me.
yeah.
I sit in that a lot. I allow myself time to take breaks and like just sit on the carpet and roll around and stare at the ceiling and think. I give myself time to imagine and create, because I feel like if I'm pushing myself and I have to sit on a desk and I'm gonna like figure this out,
press the button and something is
yes, exactly.
It's not going to happen.
So yeah, I try to return to like a childlike mode, like play. Like where like I read my children's books, like some of my favorite children's books, and then I like listen to like podcasts that are fun and friendly, and I meditate, and sometimes I listen to I love musicals, like soundtracks from musicals and things like that. Anything that makes me feel spirited and joyful in life.
Cheerful, happy, and that you can captivate the idea. Exactly. I like your tent.
Oh, thank you.
Nice, your tent. I can see it.
It's very nice. And sometimes my dog will come and snuggle, and it feels like I'm in a different little world. It's white. It's like a blank canvas. It kind of opens up my imagination. Definitely. Just to go anywhere. And then I never shut down any of my ideas. They may be ridiculous, but yeah, I had ideas I thought was ridiculous for the first book that's being published now, but then the publishers and the writers like, yes, we love that. And just like that came out of the blue, just like maybe this random idea, we can like take it in the middle of the book, and they embraced it.
That's great. Yeah. So because you have to surround yourself with things that you love, because that's your space. That's your space. Yes. So either memories or music or some essence. Like I like lavender. So lavender is very important, in not that I have a ritual. I'm trying to have like a ritual, like a routine type of thing, to awaken your creativity.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I'm also working on routines.
I'm trying to see what can I awaken my creativity.
What else do you do for the ritual that you want?
I definitely love definitely lavender is something that is important as a part of me, but I also love walking in the park.
Oh yes,
walking in the park is like, it has to be in the park, because if I walk in the city, it's not the same feeling. So I have to see the birds. I have to see the greens. I have to hug a tree. I actually.
Oh my God!
The tree.
I hug trees too.
I need to, because it gives me. It's like giving me energy, and also saying thank you to the tree that is here, because without him we couldn't be here.
I love you. I love your energy. I hug trees. I talk to leaves. I let them tickle me as I walk by, and and I like to see, for example, one of the flowers that I love to photograph and I love to admire is the cherry trees, because where we live, they have a lot of cherry trees, and it's just it surprised me, the stage of the blooming. From the bottom that is close to actually happening and turning into this beautiful pink flower. And where I am, I can see the process. When it starts, from the branches. I photograph the steps. But that's because I love it. I love to do that, and that's part of like also brings me into like, I like to dream up above in the clouds, but I need to be
also here.
Grounded.
Exactly.
Yes.
And seeing that brings me to, to
Oh,
the world, right? So
I'm the very same way. I love that. That's something like my dad taught me. We would always go out, sit on the stairs outside the house, and he's just like, look at the birds, look at the sky, look at like the tiny little nest in the
yeah,
tree.
and
But
listen
yeah,
to the chirp of the birds, because life
yes,
is too busy.
yes,
Life is too busy, and then you
it
get lost,
is.
and
Exactly.
if you can breathe, and if you can just
Yes,
take a moment and pause,
I
that's
agree.
a practice also that I am trying to put
I
together.
know,
So
yes.
that's
Sometimes I
also,
forget, but yeah, like
yeah,
as soon as
we do.
you're right. You
Yeah,
walk into a park and then it just envelops you,
yeah,
right? And it takes you to a calm, beautiful place. And I also
definitely.
love people watching in a park. Like I just love people interacting and like, seeing how people like care and love for each
Oh, and you
other.
get a lot of ideas, right, from there, because if you
Yes,
see a little girl with a
exactly.
beautiful dress, or
Yes,
something
yes,
something happening, you capture
hmm,
it in your mind, and at least,
exactly.
I capture a lot of images, and I cannot wait to get home to actually do the sketch, so
Yes,
it doesn't go
yes.
away,
It's like
right?
I can't have to remember it.
It's
Yes.
like, I don't know why, because not every story is gonna become a book, but you have to. It's like you have to,
Yes.
you have to have this. It's part of
Yes.
your of who you are, because
It's capturing
you're an
beauty and like
observer.
kind of
You're an
grounding
observer.
it.
Right.
Yes.
So we need to
Yes.
be observant of things, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's cool. So being observant, I
Yes.
sent you a message early today. And I said, okay, is this possible? Is it possible that we can take just a little bit out of time for sharing, what I call a golden tip to,
Oh,
something that you want to share of, I don't know, like a technique or something of drawing that you can share with us, or you know
oh. That
anything
I
that
do
you want.
to like something that I do to reconnect to myself or
Yeah,
like to find
whatever you want
joy.
to share, with
Oh,
us.
okay.
It can be a form of maybe like a technique of, yeah, or how you come up with something, or
Oh.
talking about your favorite tools that you like
Mhm.
to use, that anything that you think that is valuable for that young artist that is watching, and
Okay.
that can
Yes.
get this wonderful golden tip, and
Yeah.
and
Um,
she or he watched it from you, and you are
yes.
the one who is
Okay.
actually providing that gift.
Okay. Well, it's the one thing that it really helps me as for a reference. You can look up a reference of a person running or a person like eating, but I love doing it myself. I like play acting. I like looking at myself or like moving, and something about moving
Oh,
my body, and maybe
yeah,
because I'm a dancer, I
yeah.
can feel where my limbs are and then I'm able to draw it. So I do
Wow,
that all the time. Like I'll just get up in the middle of drawing and I'm like, what is she doing? How does she do her hand? How is it on her hips? Just different.
great,
And then
great.
like I can feel it in my body, and when I feel it in my body I can draw it. If
That's
that makes
fantastic. That is
Yeah.
great. So like if you have like a pose or something,
Hmm.
then you don't have the reference, but the reference is you, and then
Yes,
you become
yes.
the actor or the model,
Exactly.
and then you
Yes,
can understand
exactly.
the position of the hands or the expression of the face, or
Yes,
yeah. Oh, that's cool.
exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
I
nice.
mean, sometimes I take a picture of myself doing it, but sometimes it's just a feeling that I have in my body, and the feeling can translate on paper.
Yeah. So that's a golden
Yeah.
tip, girl. That's a golden
Oh,
tip.
thank you.
Well, what are you reading these days?
What am I reading? Let's see. I just finished. I mean, I really like you. Are you talking about children's books or any books?
Just take it wherever you want to go.
Wherever I want to
Yeah,
go.
you wanna
Well,
tell me children's book? Tell me children's book. You wanna tell me what you're reading personally, as a book that you like to read right now? It's up to you. It was a very open.
okay.
It was a very open question. So
Okay, I just want to make sure.
you choose.
Well, yes. Well, one thing I love Jane Austen, and my husband has gotten interested in that time period because when I have my big birthday in a few years, I want to go to Bath where they have a Jane Austen festival and like dress up from that time period and everything like that. So we're rereading Jane Austen books together so we can discuss them. So we just finished rereading Pride and Prejudice together, and right now I'm reading Sense and Sensibility. So I love doing that. Yeah, I I love Jane Austen. I love period clothing and things like that.
Yes.
And my husband enjoys sewing and creating different costumes and things. So we're really geeky and dorky about it. So we're going all in to,
That's nice.
to connect with the time period.
He's a teacher, right, as well?
Yes, he is. He's an educator and a dancer. He works at the Children's Museum.
Oh, he's a dancer as well. So
yes, that's how we met.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
he's a tap dancer. We were dance partners for a while.
Oh.
We were in the same audition together, and
Nice.
we became dance partners and on the same
Nice.
troupe
Nice.
together. Yeah. So
That's yeah, because you see how amazing. It's almost like you guys are soulmates because both of you are teachers, dancers.
Yes.
You guys collaborate together. He actually, he really embraced also your creativity during the course because you surprised us with a dance. Not only you were dancing, but you brought him along, and he was like,
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute.
Oh, thank you. I was so happy he did it, but I knew he would. He was
You
just
were
like, I'll do anything.
lucky girl.
Thank
Really
you.
nice. That's really nice. So
love
that's awesome. So what is a word of inspiration so we can close our nice chat? And the first word that comes up in your mind that you would like to share with us, and a word that again you're talking to that inspired illustrator that wants to get into this world of children's books.
Well, I'll tell them what I tell myself almost every day. You are capable. Sometimes we have hard days, we have difficult days, we have days that we're on top of the world, but every day we need to know that we are capable. You're capable of meeting that goal, that dream, and doing what you want as long as you stay dedicated to it and you love it. And that's what's most important. Yeah.
Well, this is a very nice time with you. Thank you again.
Yes. I love you so much.
I enjoy talking to you. It was like, being in a coffee shop and just talking.
Yes. Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah. Really.
I would like one day to have tea with you and go out and have a treat.
There you go.
That would be so lovely.
Either will happen in New Orleans, so you come over here in Brazil.
Yes.
And we're going to put the link of your book as well. And I'm going to get that book. I will get the book, definitely. And I wish you all the best, Tamisha. Lots of many books in your life and a lot of wonderful things that happen to you and your husband and your career as a professional artist. And I hope we'll talk again and we'll stay in touch.
I would love to talk again. I would love that so much. And send me your address. I can send you a book.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for everything.
I really would love that. Thank you. So I'll tell you that I'll get a book and then I will do a raffle. I will purchase one book and I'll do a raffle. And then if you feel like you want to send me one, then I'll keep that one because that one will be with an autograph.
Well, yes, I will sign it. So I'm going to send it to you.
There you go. See, there you go. I love the idea.
Yes.
So take care. It has been a pleasure talking to you, and we'll stay tuned. We'll stay in touch.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Tamisha. Bye.